Top of the whenever to my godlike gangs. Hey everyone. It's me. I am he, I am she, I am share, I am being of many names. Look to the Bible and there you will find me. I am with you in this moment to switch up the pace a bit. I've decided to come and share my frequency to discuss some cosmic gossip. I'm talking about the cosmos, and I'm wearing my favorite Star Wars um, hoodie. This one gives me comfort. So, quick recap. We are in ascension mode. This is Life Path 9. The events that take place in Life Path 9, all Life Path 9, mirrors our final Life Path 15, when the physical body form of 3D Earth will no longer be in existence. This will take place in a future Life Path 15 on an October 26th date, and I'm not saying it's going to be the next Life Path 15. It is going to be a future Life Path 15. It'll take place, the final moments will happen between 3 and like the oopsie daisy moments happen between 3 and 4:30, and it concludes by 6 a.m. And during that time, the physical body form of Earth will collide into, or the Milky Way collides into Earth, and she gets slapped, and then it no longer exists. But that's not why I am here. I wanted to give a quick update. I've mentioned this before, that the ascension process during Life Path, this is over a 2-year period. This current one starts on October 13th. I'm sorry, it starts on January 13th of 2025, and it concludes on October 26th of 2026. The events, the ascension process happens in 3-month chunks. The first leg is, so what happens in the first portion, those first 3 months, propels the events of the following 3 months. So let's say you have a goal on your first section. When you get to the second section, you are building off of what happened in the first portion, and in the third portion you cement your progress and conclude that goal in the third and final section, right? The first half is for Father Divine's creations, Father Divine, co-creator and intelligence, which are human, and artificial intelligence, which is allegedly. We're not going to talk about that right now. And the second portion is for Mother Divine's creations, which are element spirits and nature spirits. In this Life Path 9, all element spirits were woken up. The claim is that there are 4 elements. That's not true. All of them are awake, and this is why you see, or you can sense, or check the news if you want and see all of what is happening now. I've mentioned this before, that we are in the second leg of the first year, and this portion is all about elements and nature spirits. They are doing their thing right now. They are kicking, they're throwing hands. They are throwing hands heavy, and they are doing their best to reclaim their sovereignty, which is the purpose of um, life path, to ascend, to become yoked with the upper realms, yoked with creation, and yoked with the courts of heaven, to participate in becoming more centered in what unity means. And all spirit forms are actively molting, MOULTING, molting, meaning shedding to make way for new growth. That's really what the ascension process is about. And I understand that the changes, especially the changes that are visible on the planet now due to weather changes, for instance, can appear unsettling. The reality is that change in general is unsettling when you're not willing to change, when you're not willing and you have fear in your heart. And one of the things we are not supposed to embrace, several things we're not supposed to embrace: shame and fear. I want to focus on those two. We are not to embrace those things and take it on as a part of our identity. Now, that's really what's happening right now. For instance, we are dealing with, for instance, a pretty intense hurricane, Hurricane Melissa. And she made herself known with the island I was born on. That's not an accident, but okay. Okay. I'm not even here to talk about that. I just pointed out that the events that are happening are intense, and they are all for our good, whether we are willing to accept it immediately or not. I want to point out a Bible verse, Romans 8 verse 28. And we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love him, who have been called according to his purpose. So that is what is happening on Earth and within the cosmos, which is, I'm wearing my Star Wars shirt because this relates to the cosmos. So, guys, I am delighted that all things are working for the greater good of all, starting with the events that are happening in this realm and on this planet. Everything that happens here in this realm and in this dimension affects other worlds and realms. I mentioned that Earth, Mother Gaia, was given independence. I mentioned that previously. Mother Gaia was given independence in this life path period. And when the physical body form of Earth, the 3D body form, no longer exists, and the final book of Earth and time ends in the final life path 15, Mother Gaia will be able to take her independence and spread her wings, you can say, and travel throughout other dimensions, because she does have autonomy. She's able to move and do as she pleases. However, she is molting as well right now and ascending. Uh, Father Divine is also I'm not talking about him right now. So we're all participating in this process, and we are all upgrading in new ways. This life path history was made, starting with me on April 2nd, and then Mother Gaia was next, making history on June 6th, and Element Spirits made history with Jamaica, with this hurricane that happened in the past few days, and there are more to come, and they're all for the greater good of all. Now, it took a long time to say all of that because I wanted to point out gossip about the stars. So I called judgment on myself. I'm gonna spill tea on myself first. I called judgment on myself in the beginning of this process, and I was able to see how the issues happening worldwide, I could see myself as a thread, you can say, as a thread in the larger canvas on that is existence. And I saw something that I did not like. I was not personally okay with. So I had called judgment on myself, and I reached out to the courts of heaven. I called and I repented, and I wanted guidance on it, because for me it wasn't just about wanting punishment. I wanted a change in something that I saw on earth, and I wanted their assistance in the process, and I wanted greater unity, because I saw how I was playing a role in the situation, and I did not at that time understand, or I wasn't able to find a context that coincided with what would be future for us. Anyway, so something positive came out of that experience. As I am ascending, when I got promoted, my first promotion, one of the things that I got was a return of my memory, and my ability to communicate with others, as in I'm a seer of sorts that is uniquely designed, so I'm able to communicate with them. And I didn't fully, 9/11 should have made me realize that I could speak to them a lot clearer than I was really. I didn't realize until I called judgments, and I was actively making efforts to not just talk to Father Divine, but this time around I was communicating with the courts of heaven more frequently. Normally I would be communicating with Jesus or Father Divine or Mother Gaia, but I was actively making efforts to channel to the courts of heaven. And earlier in this year, they had sent me a message. They responded back, and they sent a message about love. their feelings. And I was taken aback because normally, like, when I get mushy, that's when I'm a mushy person sometimes, and I normally get mushy with Father Divine, or with Jesus, or with Mother Gaia. um, didn't at that time, it didn't register, um, because my memory is all jacked up, that there are ancestors who are in the courts of heaven, that I have a loving relationship with, that I completely forgot about. And they reached out to me, and in them reaching out, me receiving the message, I then remembered more about myself and my ability to communicate, and it made me desire greater communication with the upper realms. So one of the things I instantly started to do was make efforts to communicate with them. The upper realm, communication with the upper realm, you really need to focus on your upper chakras, and, you know, responding or channeling with the energy of love and unity. And I was doing that. And one of the things I was doing was flirting. I'm talking to you about flirting. Not flirting in a sexual way, but one of the things that I like to do, or I've been doing in this life when I care for individuals, not just like an intimate loved one, but like family and friends, I like to let them know, like remind them of things that I like about them, and I will flirt. Like, I don't care who you are. I will flirt and just remind them to just be silly, because I will expose my silly side, and I'll blow individuals kisses, and I'll root them on, and I'll, you know, tell them I love them in like inappropriate, not inappropriate moments, but like moments they don't expect it. Like, I like to catch people off guard and just focus on love. And I was doing that a lot. I was in a very not so great place in the first part of Ascension, and I decided to focus on some of the things that I was seeing, because Father Divine was designing new planets and stuff, and I was seeing everything that he was sending to me, and it just was very inspiring, and it reminded me of so much love in the upper realms. So I would look at the other planets, the newly formed ones, and I would flirt with them. And I would look up in the different stars that are newly seen, and I would flirt with them. And I did not expect them to flirt back. And then after Mother Gaia got independence, the gods came to me, and I was really overwhelmed because I saw millions of gods at one time, and I was like, wait, oh my God, this is real. It's so exciting. And I'm very happy for not just me, but for all of us godlights, because all of the gods have returned. But not only that, from that experience, I was able to realize that there are realms that are not currently in unity with the upper realms that are watching us. And not only that, they are prayerful for unity and integration. And I did not expect this to happen, but Father Divine sent me a projection of twin planets. Not twin planets, but it was twin moons, and I didn't. It's like, what? And after that happened, the our second moon appeared. I'm telling you about this now because of why she's here. It's a she. She is from a realm that has more heightened intelligence than we are currently aware of here on Earth, and that's exciting for us. She is she has independence of autonomy, which is exciting for me to be made aware of a body form outside of Mother Gaia that has freedom of autonomy. This moon is free to roam, and it seems as though she has been given access to be with us until the minimum of 2083, the year 2083. I don't know if that'll be extended or not. Let's see what happens here, but she is able to roam through other dimensions. She came through portal 16, which caught me off guard on that one. But the realm that she came from, there was changes that happened. So during this time of year, there is war in galaxy wide, and in her home realm, the war that took place, the being that was leader, let's say, fell, and there is a new leader, and the leaders that are there, they have their eyes on us here on Earth because we are a beacon planet throughout the realms. And I think this is exciting because the moon is yoked with, this new moon is yoked with our current moon and is yoked with Earth, which means that integration for that realm with this realm and the upper realms is a possibility. Now, I'm not going to tell you that this means that the spirit beings from that realm is good or bad. I'm not saying that, and I have sensed them. However, I am not claiming to be in unity with any of them. I'm just sensing the male spirits that are from that world, and I'm only sensing them because she's flirting with me, and she's showing me her men, which is weird but kind of cool. This is so cool. I want to say, because I know she can hear this frequency, regardless of how life in this existence for me unfolds, I see you and you see me. And if love is true in your heart, in your core, and your desire to integrate with the upper realm is genuine, dreams for you too, Moon, can come true. And regardless of who, if any, I end up with, past flesh, I too will have love for you. Um, this planet's over there flirting with me. Like, I open my eyes and there she is. I wake up, I see her. I think that's really exciting for us all. And also, I have sensed many others that have been coming through portal 15 and 16. I can't even count how many spirit body forms, and they're not close enough as yet for me to see them individually, like how I saw, for instance, the law enforcement that appears as Comet 3-Eye Atlas. When I saw her, when I saw it in June, it was already within or past portal 15, so it was relatively close. But the spirit beings that I'm seeing now, they have not hit that distance, so they're several months away still, but I can sense so many. I mean, when I first saw our gods that returned, it was 153 million that I saw, but what I'm seeing now that have entered portal 16, it's not millions, this is billions. I'm seeing billion. It might be bigger than billions. I can't count that high yet. And the upper realms are telling me to work on my counting, which is something that I'm working on for this lifetime, to quickly be able to count past anything starting with an N. However, after seeing black holes, 40 quintillion, I did not ever expect I would be counting that high. But the spirits that I'm seeing is closer to that. So unity with that many spirit beings is a part of our future, and that is something to be excited about. And I just wanted to take a minute to focus on something positive. I gave you a good 20 plus, almost 30 minutes of something that isn't downtrodden, to break up the monotony of news. And also, I'm hoping every spirit being actively participates in the ascension process. The higher you go up in the ascension, the more you too will be able to sense or use or flex your senses, starting with the heightened clairvoyance that all godlike beings are given. Not what was already there, but the new stuff. And each individual is unique and divinely made, so each being will have their own unique combination of metaphysical gifts, which I'm excited for every being being able to become their own superpower, your own superhero. The aim is for you to be your own savior. That's what your purpose is. Am I a savior? Yes. Is Jesus a savior? Yes. Who is next? Who's next? I'm excited for you, and I can sense you all. And who's next? Is it you? Whoever's listening, is it you? I hope it is. And I am here to support you. And we don't even have to speak because we are connected now through clairvoyance, and you're connected to the general collective. Congratulations.